how are
Okay,
you?
cool. Hi, how are you? Good. How
You're
are you
looking
doing?
so good.
I just did my 5:30 a.m. Yoga this morning, so I feel like so good. And you
And it's
too.
going to
What
be
have you been
right
up to?
on topic with vibration and
Yeah,
energy.
exactly.
Yes, because,
Exactly.
when your vibration is high, it actually shows.
Yeah, for
When
sure.
energy is high. Yeah, looking so good. It's always lovely to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. So today, our topic is going to be about vibration and energy. And I invited Denise today to talk a little bit about, her interpretation of this energy and vibration thing. And she actually sent over a quote to me earlier on, which is very good. It says, "Everything in life is vibration." Albert Einstein. And so, of course, it's true. I think we all know that. Just everybody knows that intuitively, that everything is a vibration, the way your body moves, the way that the sound of the planet, everything, there's a vibration. There's a movement in and out, like the waves come in and out. So it seems like there's a sound and a vibration for the entire universe. And I think in the East, they say that the sound Om encompasses everything.
Yeah.
So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you. This is Denise, everybody. So Denise, I think our listeners have met you before, but just, for those who maybe haven't, give us a little background on who you are. And
yeah, I
know she's a lover of life.
I do love life, and I love to travel. In fact, I live to travel. I did before the whole pandemic thing, and now I traveling's gotten a little weird, super expensive and stuff, so I haven't been traveling as much, but I am very much interested in why we're here, what's our purpose,
the deep things in life,
exactly. And fortunately I have some time on my hands to be able to ponder these things, and also to go and experience things like healing in Bali, or 2.5 months of yoga training. And so just want to basically pass along what I've learned or what I've experienced that I think that can help others.
And just to add to that, Denise, that's such a great sentiment, because I think after the whole 2 years of the pandemic that people have been going through, there's a lot of stuff going on for people. And I think that if each of us can just find in our hearts to give something back in whatever capacity that is, just give something back, maybe it's something that you're going to say or that you're going to mention, or that seems, sometimes people feel overwhelmed in their life, and then you just say something that clicks for them. So just being able to give back to our community is really a gift, isn't it?
Exactly.
And so hopefully today we're going to be able to have this conversation around vibration and energy, and help our listeners to see what they could do better to maybe enhance or uplift that, so that they can have a better life, right?
So Deborah mentioned that everything is energy, and we all did chemistry, and that chemistry was 101, which is like us humans, we're made up of cells, and the cells made up of atoms, and the atoms are made up of particles, and those particles are constantly vibration. I know we see them as solid, and we see our physicalness as solid, but we're not. We're constantly in vibration. Everything is in motion, and effectively everything has a certain vibration to it. And that vibration,
kind of like a signature, would you say?
And our lungs have a different vibration to our heart. Our organs also have vibration. Everything, absolutely nothing is staying still. If it's still, then it's dead. It's gone. But essentially,
if it's still, then you're dead. No movement.
Okay. And because we are this vibrating mass of energy, then we are impacted positively or negatively by vibrational energy. And Einstein had a great quote, which was if we can match the vibration. Are you still there? Sorry, did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's still there. Sorry. If we can basically match our vibration and frequencies to that which we desire, and we will meet up with that possibility that we're desiring. So all we have to do is like match the energy and frequency of.
So how would one have to do that though? What would you have to do to change your
essentially it's
vibration?
like how do you know what your vibration is at the moment? Then it's all about like, well, how do you
I think
feel?
it can be measured, right? I think people can actually measure.
Yeah, you
vibration.
can measure it, but I think the easiest way to ask somebody, find out what their vibration is to ask yourself, how am I feeling?
Are you happy?
Yeah. Am I feeling depressed? Am I feeling joyful? Am I feeling just like blah blah blah?
Yes.
And that kind of like indicates your vibration. The higher your vibration, the better you're going to feel. The highest vibration has purportedly been said that it's like unconditional love. Mm-hmm. So when we have feelings of like unconditional love, then we're like in our highest vibration.
So can we talk a little bit about this unconditional love? Mm-hmm. What does that mean to people? What does that mean? What does unconditional love mean?
Mm-hmm. For me personally, I feel unconditional love is like where you have like love for all of mankind, whether it be human or animal, and you have no judgment in your heart, you have no resentment, no hate, no nothing, and you don't desire anything from that person or whatever. It's not like an expectation or any of that stuff. It's just a love that is just this pure, unadulterated like energy that we basically give off. And a lot of people can understand that if they look at their children and the feeling that they have. It's like whether their child tells them, oh mommy I hate you, or daddy I hate you, or whatever, you still
unconditional
have
love,
unconditional love.
Yeah, and I like what you said. To me, this love, this unconditional love is really about non-judgment. Mm-hmm. And just to point out that non-judgment really comes from this personal mind. So, many mystics have said this, that there's a universal mind, which people call God consciousness, pure awareness. So that seems to be the universal consciousness, universal mind. But then there's the individual mind. So it seems like the individual mind is the one that is judging, that's comparing. And this is what takes us out of love. And in a lot of times into suffering. And so when we talk about, the highest frequencies, love, it's not to say that you don't have it, we have it. But our separate mind, the small mind, this individual mind, is keeping us back. And also what happens for a lot of people is that we are fighting in this little mind, like Denise said so beautifully. She said, to love everybody unconditionally, but how do people actually do that? People don't know how to do that. So I'm going to give you a little hint today. It's not easy. It's simple. The simplicity in it is that your individual mind is making up all the judgment. It's making up all the comparison, and therefore it's separating you from experiencing that love. So instead of trying to fight with that in your little mind, because I think a lot of us, many of us, most of us grow up with morals, and we grow up with how to treat other people, and you got to love this person and that person. And sometimes people just don't know how to do that.
Right.
And that basically comes from, again, that separation, that small mind. So if you can understand that it's only your small mind that's separating you from experiencing love, then instead of fighting on that level, that's exactly what Denise also said, because Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem on the same frequency as it exists. So meaning it exists in the small mind of yours. You cannot fix it there. You have to go to universal mind. So universal mind is where you actually don't believe that your thinking and your thoughts are telling you something which is true, because most of the time it's not telling you the truth. It's telling you stuff through your filters and through your perceptions, and therefore it's not truth. but we don't know that we are not our thoughts. So we believe that that's truth, the way our thoughts is perceiving it, right? So just so that listeners can understand that, the universal love is probably the highest frequency of love. And Denise also sent this little quote. She said, sent to me from The Secret: the feeling of love is the highest frequency you can emit. The greater the love you feel and emit, the greater power you're harnessing. That's from The Secret. And that's the truth. So don't feel like you have to go do something to be worthy of this love. You are already this love. The thing that's separating you from this love is the small thinking.
It's ego. Essentially.
So
because it's really, really simple. It's like when we become like more mindful, we become mindful of like, our words and our thoughts, which lead to the words and the feeling and the emotions. And words carry frequency as well as like your thoughts. If you use like really negative words in a way to speak to people, what do you think happens? You're going to get that right back at you. It's like that boomerang effect, because that's the frequency that you're operating on. So you can't expect to achieve peace and harmony if you're coming from antagonism and war. You have to come from a place of like peace and harmony, and then you'll be a vibrational match for peace and harmony.
So a lot of people argue and say that if something is happening on the outside that's triggering in them this emotion and feeling, to say harsh words too, so then how would you say to them, like, okay, the people on the outside, they are not responsible for how you react to things, because if you're reacting with with a negativity, that negativity is really yours. How would you then say to people, like, how to take responsibility for that so that you can change that on the inside? Because 99% of people are going to say, well, I'm a good person, but they made me act in this way.
Well, look at it this way.
What would you say?
You can't like hit another person like with you. If I hit you with my hand, what am I doing? I'm hurting myself. I'm hurting my hands.
Correct.
So what I'm doing, regardless of what I do to you to hit you, physically hurting you, I'm hurting myself. That's on a physical level, but also like on a non-physical level. If I'm hurting somebody, I can't help but hurt myself,
because you're experiencing those emotions that you're putting out.
Like
let's say if it's a non-physical
like whatever I'm putting out is what is coming back to me. So it's basically self-harm. So when somebody says, oh, it's his fault or their fault and stuff, it doesn't really help you to blame others. What you can do is you can empower yourself through understanding that there's a purpose that you had that encounter or that meeting or that discussion. And when you understand that, the universe is so intricate and designed in such a like intelligent way that we still aren't able to fathom it. So when you become more mindful and realize that I can empower myself and realize that that person that I met or that experience that I had was all about like fine-tuning and making me a better person and improving who I am, because the universe is setting us up for success. So to play the blame game, it doesn't really do anybody any good. And you have to understand that to a certain extent, that your vibration was a match for whatever happened. And then so when you can take that responsibility, you can start empowering yourself and thinking, oh, okay, well, maybe I need to like change my vibration and my frequency, and then I'll be a match for like other things that I want or desire. For example, I was in my car like a month or so ago, and I was driving along, minding my own business, and I was driving along, minding my own business, and this car just came out of nowhere and cut right in front of me. And the guy goes, and I was like, beat my horn, and then the guy goes, "You bitch," like this. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like thinking, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And then I thought about it, and I went really deep inside, and I realized that I had some anger that was inside of me, or some issues, and I just had a discussion with somebody and it hadn't gone well, and that anger that was inside me attracted that experience that I had. Experience. I could sit there and blame that other guy and he came out of nowhere, or I can say to myself, I was created that because I was a vibrational match for that experience.
Wow, well, that's a good example. So, if you're out there listening to this, one of the best things you can do is when you take responsibility for your experiences, then it actually helps you to have better ones, instead of if you just keep blaming, because it's kind of like when if you could have blamed that guy and whatever, but you would have learned something about yourself.
Right.
Because the opportunity to learn something about yourself is there in every situation, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. And, it sometimes it's like your vibration is not, some of it could be like passed down from your mother, for example. So, for example, when you were in the womb or whatever, maybe your mother had feelings of like fear, or maybe she had like a negative experience, and that,
which we all have. Every human being has that.
That can affect you. Like, for example, you could become like a fearful person. And that's where you have to do obviously all the shadow work to uncover all that stuff and figure out why your life isn't going the way that you want it to go. It all comes back to us. When we realize that, if I want to change my life, then I have to change myself. I can't, because
really the potential is there for everybody to have the best stuff that they want to create. But again, I think I will bring it to your attention, to the listeners, that remember universal mind and small mind. So when you are interpreting the world through this small mind of yours, you're going to have an experience of that. So if you want to have a better experience, that's where you have to create the change. And first of all, you have to become aware that that's what's going on. And then you have to choose to change it. Because if you continue with that thought pattern, and again, like we're talking about here today about vibration. So your thinking process and your thought pattern creates a vibration. And that vibration is going to find a match outside of yourself. And so if you're finding that you're attracting to yourself pain and suffering, I would recommend look at what it is that you're putting out through that mental vibration, where you're thinking, your thought pattern, right? And then perhaps that's how you can create a change. Because I know that there's lots of people that talk about, okay, love is the best thing and love is the best vibration, but how do people get that love? And like literally, I can guarantee it to you, when you become aware of your thoughts, the thoughts that you are creating and the thought patterns that you have, which you created through your perception and your filters, from your personal upbringing, that's where the issue is always. So if you can connect to that universal mind, which is love, there where we talked earlier about when you are judging other people, when you're comparing yourself to other people, all those things coming from the small mind. Yeah. And that's why you can't have that universal feeling all the time, because sometimes you get it. Maybe sometimes when you go to church or you do something that you love, or you're with the person that you love, or you meditate. So then you can raise your vibration. But how to maintain that is the key.
Yeah. Then you have to live like a mindful life. And we're all like, none of us are Buddha here. No, but we're all like trying. And I think once you become aware and conscious, then you can start like living and creating a more conscious life. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like just assuming that things are happening to you, because it's not really happening to you. You're creating it, and you're creating it through your emotion, your feeling, your vibration. And everybody did physics 101, which was like energy attracts like energy. So, when we're feeling like, really low vibration, low frequency, we'll find that our immunity is poor. that, you know, we get ill more easily,
Sickness.
that we're prone to depression, and, you know, all kinds of disease within the body. So, you know, that's like just alone, it's like for your health alone, you have to like keep your vibration high, or maintain optimum levels of vibration, so that you don't get sick and you don't get cancer and you don't, you know, take on all kinds of like negative disease. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and there are a few ways that you can there are a few things that you can do to raise your vibration, and I always will remind people of this first thing: your breath. What is it, the first thing that you do when you come into this world? You take in a breath. What's the last thing you're going to do? Is going to take a breath out. So your breath is your first vibration that you can use to help you to create more energy within your body. Your breath can also help you to shift and change emotion, feeling, and thought. Your breath can help you to become aware of feeling, thought, and emotion. So if you say like, I have no time, I have no money, I can't do anything, you can breathe. And there are many, many, many things on YouTube today where you can go and get a breathing technique for free. You just have to type in breathing techniques on YouTube and a ton of things will come up. So one of the best things you're going to do in your life to try and change your frequency is actually through your breath. Yeah. And then we have other beautiful things like chanting. And then we have, even nowadays, we have these bowls, singing bowls, and we have Tibetan bowls. So these are all things that's going to help you to change your frequency so that you can vibrate to that higher love where you know everything is really good. So that's another way of doing it. And of course, the other way of doing it is meditation as well. And for some people, it's swimming as well. Or for some people, it's taking a walk in nature, hearing the birds. It's all frequency, isn't it? For some people, it's hearing the wind, like rustle in the trees. It's all frequency. Find what works for you that helps you to raise your vibration.
Yeah. Just, and if you're feeling, in a low place, and, depression is like a disease, it's like something like that's very real, and unless somebody's been there, they can't grasp or understand it, so it's easier said than done to say, oh, okay, well, if you're depressed, like raise your vibration. But I always like say, well, just do one thing that's going to make you feel a little bit better than how you feel right now, and maybe that could be like having a bowl of ice cream,
or just a smile, like if you're just smiling to somebody, right? And that person smiles back at you.
Even like we always like say, like, fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
When you smile, we trigger all kinds of like goings on within the body, and the cells don't know whether it's like a fake smile or a real smile. It's like from that mechanical movement, there's all kinds of triggers that are going on in the body that are like helping to raise your vibration. And there is like one of the ascended masters, Sam Shaman. He says all we really need to do to change any aspect of our lives, heal disease, create abundance, is to raise our vibration and frequency. And as Deborah said, there's like many ways that we can do that, but it's like finding things that you love or giving back. That sometimes like is like the biggest gift of all, because when you give back and it comes from a genuine giving, not from a giving like I want to get something or whatever, then that feeling is like so amazing. And I would say that like can give you the feelings of love, staring at flowers. I mentioned before that that's
a beautiful flowers. Thing. Yes.
Being around your grandkids or your kids, and that can help you feel all these feelings of love. Going outside in the sunshine, getting exposed to UV rays, that helps support your like brain function, your healthy mood, your sleep cycle, all kinds of things. And then you have things like gardening, which they say is like really good, like to get back to the earth. And stay close to the nature, and if you want to feel better than how you're feeling now, like if you want to help increase your vibration frequency, even things like jumping up and down, like that
just moving the physical body, just joy. Exactly.
that can help to like increase like your endorphins, and you know, you got to move the body. You know, if the body stays still, then it becomes like all stagnant, and that's like a low vibration thing. So one of the other things is like just jumping for joy, like just jumping up and down. I know it sounds really strange, but actually you can't feel like not joyful when you're jumping up and down. You know, put some music, go and sing a song, sing it out loud, sing to yourself. You know, when you're singing, it's hard to find like reasons to be like sad and unhappy and stuff like that, unless you're listening to sad love songs.
Like you said, again, fake it until you make it. And I personally find that one of the things that can lift your spirits up is just to be of service to humanity. Like go outside and do something. I have a story that I remember very clearly when I was many years ago, when I was still living in South Africa. A friend of mine and we both went and did like a week-long program with underprivileged, actually HIV positive women. They have no money, they have no nothing, and most of the time there in those years people were not very educated about HIV, so they thought like if you come close to these people you'll get it, right? So they're very like pushed aside. So anyhow, we went there and we spent 5 days with them, teaching them breathing techniques, actually, and meditation techniques. And so we were working with them every day. And at the end of the week, on the Friday, we said to them, okay, what we would like to do is for them to get into groups and go and do something for their community. These people have no money, they have nothing. And it kind of brought me almost to tears, the things that they did. So the group that I was working with, what they did was they went to a local school, and where they went to take a sewing kit with them. And so all the kids who had no buttons, you know, a tear in their shirt or their pants, they go and sew it up. So that was their good work. So we sent them all out to go and do some project of good work. And to be honest with you, at the end of the week, when they came back to report about how it went, the love, the frequency, the energy that they were emitting. Now, these are people, when we started with them, they felt like they were nothing. They had nothing to give. They had nothing to offer. People didn't want to get close to them. All their stories, right? When they came back from doing something for even these people who thought they had nothing to give, when they went out and gave something, they came back with high energy, high vibration. So I challenge you, if you're feeling low, go and do something. It doesn't have to cost money. Go and do something for someone outside. The more grateful you are for what you have, the happier you're going to be.
Exactly. Gratitude, that's huge. Like
gratitude
a gratitude journal, or like waking up every day and thinking of like 5 things that you're grateful for, or even if you can't think of 5, just one thing that you're grateful for.
One thing.
And
there's so many.
Feeling of gratitude, then we're also increasing our vibration.
Yes.
And then more of a match for things that we desire as opposed to things that we don't want in our lives.
Exactly. And like Albert Einstein said, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. So remember that, listeners, if you are looking to achieve something in your life, just think about, I have to fine tune my frequency. And there are various different ways that you can do it. Gratitude, understanding that your small mind is taking you on a journey where you don't want to be. It's taking you into a low vibration. Connect with your higher, your higher consciousness, the universal mind. And when that small mind is trying to create judgment or, separation or comparison, then that's not the truth. Because everybody has the truth within them. You just have to connect with it. Nobody achieves anything. Everybody just connects to their true self. And through meditation and yoga and all these techniques that we can do, it just shows you what you are not. It's like just you're getting rid of the things that you're not, and all you're going to be left with is actually who you truly are, which is love. Your nature, your true existence is love.
That's correct.
Right? So on that point of our love, just remember that it's the highest frequency. And if you want to vibrate there, if you want to attract the highest possible life, then you have to work towards recognizing that you are that love and living from that place.
There's just one experiment that was done that I just wanted to like briefly tell.
Share, yeah.
That if you take like a drum and you put like sand on top of the drum, and, fine layer, and then you get like a tuning fork, like create like a frequency, then what you'll see is the sand will move on the drum. It will create these amazing, like almost like mandala type shapes, and just the higher the frequency, the more intricate those shapes become, and the more like complex and just so beautiful as the frequencies rise. And I feel that is basically a good representation of what happens to us when our vibration increases. Because what happens is, like, you know, so many more doors will open up for you, because so many more possibilities and opportunities. It's like the same thing. The mandala becomes like more more
it's infinite. It's infinite, isn't it?
So then, you know, the possibilities become more infinite to you as you your vibration. And that's why when people like are in a high vibration, you see those people are successful people, those people are happy people. Then up with other things that are on that high vibration. It's like, you know, you have to be careful about who you surround yourself with, who your friends are,
what you listen to, what you think about.
Yeah, the 5 people that you surround yourself with, you'll end up becoming like them. So you know, be careful of who you're choosing to be in your circle. You know, definitely they're affecting your vibration.
Wow. That's so great. Denise, thank you so much. I always love talking to you about all things spiritual, vibrational. You know, it's just always lovely. Like, and I said, you know, before, we're all trying to make the world a better place. And, you know, the only place to start is with us. So don't waste any more time. Do the things that you love to do to raise your vibration, so that when you go out into the world, you can be a magnet to attract all those beautiful things to yourself.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Denise.
Okay.
Always a pleasure. We'll talk soon. Bye.